Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 14th of December 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover a mapping topic and we are going to cover the most important articles from the newspaper. Today there were many important articles from the newspaper. Some articles are from the Indian polity section, others are from international relations, some articles are from science and technology, others are from, let's say, like environment and ecology. So there are issues from various areas. So we are going to discuss all of these issues one by one. So the first article that we are going to discuss today will be a mapping topic, and this mapping topic will be related to Kanha National Park. All right, not only we are going to look into Kanha National Park, but apart from this we are going to look into, let's say, the national parks in India. I will share a map with you. You can practice that map. That will help you to locate various, let's say, national parks in the country. All right. So apart from this, like, we have selected these articles for today's discussion. So let us now quickly understand the first topic, which is a mapping topic for the day. Name of the topic is Kanha National Park. So here we need to understand what are national parks. So national parks are protected areas, right? And national parks are bigger in size. So in those national parks, generally the government of India wants to protect some of the species, right, that reside inside the park. Generally some of the national parks are also tiger reserves. And when we talk about the Kanha National Park, it is a national park as well as a tiger reserve, and it has been in news, right, because of many issues, right? So like tiger reintroduction program related to that, let's say, like, it was in news, or cheetah reintroduction program, it was recently in news, right? So this is the thing. So where is Kanha National Park located? Kanha National Park is located in the state of Madhya Pradesh. So where is Madhya Pradesh located? So this is the map of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, I'm just like drawing an outline map of Madhya Pradesh. This is the map of Madhya Pradesh, and this is where, right, we have Kanha National Park. We have Kanha National Park located. Okay, Kanha National Park is located in the state of Madhya Pradesh. In short, we call it as MP. So it is located in Madhya Pradesh. Apart from this, there are few other national parks also that are very, very important. One of the national park is Ranthambore National Park. Okay, this is Ranthambore National Park. I'm just writing NP. So it is located in the state of Rajasthan. Ranthambore National Park is located in the state of Rajasthan. Then we have another national park. This is known as Nagarhole National Park. Okay, it is known as Nagarhole National Park. Nagarhole National Park, NP. So where is it located? It is located in Karnataka, right? It is located in Karnataka, as well as some portion of it is, let's say, like, it shares borders with Kerala also. It shares borders with Kerala. So Nagarhole National Park is also very, very important. All right. So here in this map, basically we have included national parks in India. So presently in India, around 53 national parks are there, and through this map you can locate all those national parks, tiger reserves and all. So when we talk about northeastern India, in northeastern India we have some prominent national parks. One of the national park is known as Kaziranga National Park, which is located in the state of Assam. What is the importance of Kaziranga National Park? Here in Kaziranga National Park we find one-horned rhinoceros, and India has the highest population of one-horned rhinoceros in the world. So that's why Kaziranga National Park is also important. It was recently in news also, like within a week it was in news. Apart from this, we have Kabul Lamjao National Park. This is important. We have Sirohi National Park. We have Namdhaba National Park, and then we have Kanchenjunga National Park. This Kanchenjunga National Park is also a World Heritage Site, right? It is a World Heritage Site under two criteria, like natural and cultural. Okay, natural national heritage site as well as cultural national heritage site. That's the thing. So IUCN has recognized this thing. It is intangible cultural heritage of humanity, like that. So apart from this, we have Hemis High Altitude National Park, we have Kishtwar National Park, we have Great Himalayas, we have Valley of Flowers National Park, we have Corbett Tiger Reserve and National Park, right? We have Dudhwa National Park. This remains in news. It is located in the state of UP. Then we have Sariska Tiger Reserve and National Park. This is in Rajasthan. Then we have Desert National Park, again in Rajasthan. Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan. Then if we talk about Madhya Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh, highest number of tigers reside, and they have large number of national parks and tiger reserves. They are this Bandhavgarh, like here in Madhya Pradesh, they have Kanha, they have Pench, they have Satpura, and apart from this, they have this One Vihar Bhopal Zoo. These are the places that are located, right? So this is important. So wherever you can find, right, trees located in this map, all of them are national park. In your free time, you can locate these national parks. Now tell me, where is Sanjay Gandhi National Park located? This is the location of Sanjay Gandhi National Park. This is located in the state of Maharashtra. It is in the state of Maharashtra, like that. Apart from this, there are many other important national parks. For example, we have Gir National Park and Tiger Reserve. Here we find lions, right, in Gir National Park and Tiger Reserve. We have Little Run of Kutch National Park. We have this Velavadar National Park. So these are national parks. In your free time, you can locate these national parks. It will help you, right, to solve questions, mapping related questions. And also whichever national park comes in news, you need to locate that one, right? So with this, let us now quickly move to the first article of the day. This article is related to environment and ecology, okay? It's important under environment and ecology section. This is important for the prelims examination. Also, it is important for the mains exam. So we are going to understand about this topic. It says COP28 calls for transition away from fossil fuels, okay? So in this article, we will understand about Conference of Parties 28 in detail. We are going to discuss about many associated areas. This thing is very important for the prelims exam, because in prelims, they do ask questions from environment and ecology section. Around, let's say 10 questions are asked from this area, right? So the thing is, like, if you understand this topic, it will help you to solve some additional questions in the prelims exam. So let us understand this topic. Name of the topic is topic number 1. This topic says transition away from fossil fuels, okay? So I do have a physical part of the newspaper as well. It says COP28 calls for, right? COP28 calls for transition away from fossil fuels. Transition away from fossil fuels. So let's understand about this topic, right? So what is the context of this article? Why this article came? Because now Dubai is holding the Conference of Parties, right? It is holding Conference of Parties, COP28. Conference of Parties is generally meeting of the member countries, right? And member countries of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So there is a convention, it is known as UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It conducts a Conference of Party every year. And the Conference of Party meetings are conducted, right, in its member countries on a rotational basis, right? So earlier, like, COP27 was held in Marrakesh, which is located in Egypt, right? So Morocco, so which is located in Morocco. But the thing is, this time it is being held in Dubai, and Dubai is located in United Arab Emirates. It is located in UAE. So in this Conference of Party, basically the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change members, they are, let's say, talking about many important issues. What are the important issues that they are talking about? They are talking about, let's say, 3 important issues to be, let's say, like precise. One of the important issue that they are talking about is, let's say, reducing global warming, right? One of the things that they are talking about is reducing global warming. Why it is important for us to reduce the global warming? Because global warming is, let's say, unsettling the stability of the globe, unsettling the stability of the earth and its ecosystems. Because of global warming, right? Because of global warming, glaciers are melting, right? Because of this thing, glaciers are melting. And since glaciers are melting, it is leading to sea level rise. Okay, it is leading to sea level rise, means like, the sea level is increasing, means like water level in the seas or oceans is increasing. Since sea level is increasing, so it is leading to threat, right? So it is leading to threat, existential threat to those countries that are island nations, right? So we do have small island nation states, right? So we have small islands, and these small islands are on the verge of, let's say, submergence. If sea level rises above a certain level, so those nations that are island nations, they are on the verge of submergence, they can get submerged. So they are on a existential threat. So it is more urgent for these island nations to, let's say, get the global warming, get the climate change addressed, right? So when we talk about the Conference of Parties COP28 in UNFCCC, here many countries are participating, and many of them are also small island states, right? Small island nations, right? So they are participating. And when we talk about reducing global warming, we have understood why it is important to reduce global warming, because global warming is leading to glaciers melting, and because glaciers are melting, sea level is rising, and because of this, small island nation states are let's say, like, at the verge of submergence. Apart from this, because of global warming, the, let's say, climate induced hazards have increased. There are many climate induced hazards, right? So the other problem that we are facing is climate induced hazards or disasters. We can say climate induced hazards are increasing, right? Climate induced hazards are on the rise. And this has been said by the World Meteorological Organization also. World Meteorological Organization has talked about many things. It has talked that from 2011 to 2020, 1 meter of glacier has retreated every year. That has led to sea level rise. Apart from this, World Meteorological Organization has talked about that there are extreme climate events. I mean, like, glaciers, like recently in India, we have seen from Sikkim, right, glacial lake outburst flood has happened. So that's a kind of disaster, right? And because of that, lot of infrastructure gets damaged, people let's say lose their lives also. And not only this, it also induces, let's say, cyclones, it induces other kind of climate problems. So these are some of the issues that we need to address, right? So we need to reduce global warming. And when we talk about global warming per se, so global warming happens because of, let's say, like, what are the reasons related to global warming? So reasons of global warming, when we talk about reasons, one of the reason is increase in the level of CO2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a potent global warming gas. So this is a greenhouse gas because of, so what is happening in our atmosphere, in the atmosphere of the earth, the concentration of carbon dioxide is continuously increasing, and carbon dioxide has the potential of trapping, right, heat waves. What it does, it traps heat waves, and because of which, since the concentration of carbon dioxide is increasing and it is capable of trapping the heat wave, so that's why the entire envelope of the atmosphere gets heated up, right? Since it gets heated up, it leads to, let's say, like, climate induced phenomena. More rainfall happens in some region, less rainfall happens in other regions. So the thing is, like, the balance in our atmosphere has unsettled. Okay, this is unsettled. So basically, greenhouse gases are causing the problem. So some of the greenhouse gas includes carbon dioxide. Apart from this, chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, hydrofluorocarbon, HFCs, etc. So they are examples of greenhouse gases. This is one thing that they are talking about. And when we talk about global warming related to this, earlier we had, let's say, like, different countries. There was earlier a conference of parties, COP was conducted, right? This COP was also of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So this was conducted in the year of 2015, and in 2015 different countries have agreed on something which is known as Paris Agreement. So this COP 2015, it had happened in Paris. So in Paris Agreement, different countries have agreed that, like, agreed to reduce the global warming, right? Agreed to reduce the global warming. And how they will be reducing the global warming? For this, they have taken certain targets. What are those targets? One of the targets says, like, we will not let the global warming go beyond 1.5 degrees centigrade as compared to pre-industrial level. So the target one was to keep the global warming well below 1.5 degrees centigrade as compared to pre-industrial level. And if it is not met, in that case, we will definitely make it sure that the global warming is kept well below 2 degrees centigrade by the end of this century, by 2100, by the end of this century. This was the target. So these Paris Agreement targets, I mean, like, because of this Paris Agreement, many countries have agreed to, let's say, phase out different types of fossil fuels. They have agreed to phase out, let's say, greenhouse gas emissions. They have agreed to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. But still, we are still, let's say, like, struggling with that. And as part of this Paris Agreement, basically, as part of this Paris Agreement, different countries have agreed that they are going to come up with a report which is known as Global Stocktake Report, right? It is known as Global Stocktake Report. What is the significance of Global Stocktake Report? Basically, Global Stocktake Report is a report that will be released every 5 years, okay? It will be released every 5 years since the adoption of the Paris Agreement. So it was agreed in 2015. So the first Global Stocktake Report should have come in the year of 2020. But 2020 was a pandemic year for all of us, right? We were all struggling, right, with COVID-19. So 2020 Global Stocktake was not done. 2021 also went, I mean, like, because we were dealing with pandemic. 2022, they could not come up with let's say, Global Stocktake Report. But now, this time, right, this time they are coming up with Global Stocktake Report. So this is the second thing that we are going to talk about. So in this COP 28 that is happening now, so they have come, let's say, they have released a draft Global Stocktake Report. Okay, they have released a draft Global Stocktake Report. This is released in 2023. A draft report has been released, and in that draft report, what they have discussed that they are going to phase out, right? They are going to phase out, or not phase out, they have mentioned transition away, right? Transition away from fossil fuels. Okay, they have discussed about transition away from fossil fuels. Why from fossil fuels? Because fossil fuels cause pollution, environmental pollution, and it also causes greenhouse gas emission. And because of this, it has dual challenge. One challenge is how do we reduce global warming? Second challenge is how do we mitigate the climate change? How do we mitigate the, let's say, climate change? So these are the things. These are the things that are being discussed in the Paris Agreement. So here they have talked about, let's say, like, in this article, basically they discussed about this Paris Agreement of keeping emission on track below 2 degrees centigrade and endeavor to 1.5 degrees centigrade. So in this article, they have discussed about the Global Stocktake Report that we discussed in detail. And the thing is, this stocktake found that steps taken by parties were inadequate, and even in most optimistic case would see 5% reduction in emission by 2030 over the 2019 levels, when it should have been 43%. Okay, so Global Stocktake draft report that was released, they have found that, like, most countries were not on the path of achieving, right, their targets that were set under Paris Agreement. So they are not there. And also in this article, basically they have discussed another important topic. What is that important topic? The third topic that they have discussed is known as climate finance. Okay, they have discussed about climate finance. Climate finance means those countries, the developed countries, are historically responsible for polluting the world, right? Because during their path of development, they have indiscriminately used fossil fuels and they have released huge amount of carbon dioxide, they have released huge amount of greenhouse gases, and because of their release of their share of release in the greenhouse gases, right, the global warming has impacted. So it was agreed upon between developing countries and developed countries that developed countries have historical responsibilities and they will be contributing to the let's say development of developing countries, right, by providing them funding. And the developed countries have agreed that they are going to provide $100 billion, right, $100 billion, 100 billion US dollars fund, right, for 5 years from 2020 till 2025. So they have agreed this thing, but the developed countries did not provide this funding. I mean, like, the funding that was received was inadequate. Okay, the funding that was received was inadequate. So in this article they say that 2009 commitment to mobilize 100 billion a year between 2020 and 2025 has only been partially realized. And so in this article they mention about one important thing is that they have released a document which is known as Dubai Consensus. Okay, it is known as Dubai Consensus. So what do we mean by Dubai Consensus? Basically, the Conference of Party COP28 is being conducted in Dubai, right? It is being conducted in Dubai. So in Dubai, they have come up with a consensus document, a document having 21 pages or I think 27 pages. In that document, everything that is mentioned, it is consented upon by all the member parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Means every country agrees to whatever is mentioned in that document. This document is available for download. If you have time, you can download and you can learn about it, right? So this article is really, really good. So with this, let us now move to another article, right? This article is written by Mr. Shashi Tharoor. So in this article, Mr. Tharoor mentions about Gaza, a new pointer to India's changed worldview. So this topic is related to GS paper 2 of the means exam, and it is important under international relations. Okay, so we are going to understand about this topic in detail. So let me write down the name of this topic. This is topic number 2, right? It says Gaza, a new pointer to India's changed worldview. Gaza, a new pointer to India's changed worldview. So let's understand about this topic quickly. So to understand this thing, let us understand a conceptual framework. Let us understand about a concept, right? Let us understand about a concept. So what is the concept that we are going to understand? We are going to understand the concept of states. In international law, countries are called as states, nations are called as states, right? So states means countries. So the thing is, these states are, most of the states are sovereign in the let's say like in the world. So they are sovereign. Sovereign means they are internally and externally free to take decisions for themselves, right, internally, and they are free to take decisions for other countries, right, with which country they want to establish their relations, right, with which countries they want to have diplomatic relations, consular relations and all. So first of all, here when we talk about nation states, right, nation states, let's say like every nation state in the world, every state in the world, they have their own priorities, right? They have their own priorities. It may be related to development, it may be related to, let's say, political stability, it may be related to science and technology, it may be related to shaping their geopolitical views in the world. So in their pursuit, the nation states, let's say, come in foreign relation with one another. they come in foreign relation with one another in a manner that they can safeguard their interest, right, interest of the country. So in pursuit of this interest, what these countries do, sometimes they create alliance related to security, they create security alliance, right? So this is the thing that happens. So basically what has happened in this article, right, in this article, Mr. Shashi Tharoor has talked about, let's say, India's past. What he has discussed about? He has discussed about India's past. So what has been India's past? So India has seen a colonial rule. India was being ruled by Britishers, right? So India was under colonial rule, and India was under colonial rule for a period of 200 years, right? And what was the name of the country that colonized India? It was United Kingdom, UK. The Britishers had colonized in India. So during the colonial rule, India has understood what it means when a country is being subjugated, when a country is, let's say, like, pride is being, let's say, like, pride is being crushed. So this was that has happened. But in 1947, what has happened in 1947, right? India became independent, right? India became independent. But India became independent. So at that time, what had happened? UK government has come up with two-state solution. They have come up with two-state solution for India. Two-state solution means we wanted to have a single unified sovereign country. We wanted to have a one Indian, let's say, state, one state, which is India. We wanted it to be sovereign. We wanted it to be, let's say, secular as well. We wanted to create a secular state. But UK government, I mean, like, Lord Mountbatten, he came up with a plan, and under that plan, he sought two-state solution. So they have created a dominion of India, right? And they have proposed a dominion of Pakistan, right? They have proposed a dominion of Pakistan. So India was created as a secular state, but the thing is, Pakistan became a Islamic state. Okay, so like they have a state religion, so it became a Islamic state. Similarly, what has happened, right? If we talk about this, I mean, like, if we talk about this Palestine, earlier there was only a state which is known as Palestine, right? There was a state which was known as Palestine, but the thing is, Palestine was under UK government, means, like, they have colonized Palestine also. And later on, UK government had proposed, right? They have proposed through Balfour Declaration that they are going to, let's say, like, create two states. One state will be known as the state of Palestine, right? A state of Palestine, and another state will be known as the state of Israel, right? Another state will be known as the state of Israel. So this is the thing. And in 1947, what has happened in 1947? There was a United Nations resolution, right? There was a United Nations resolution, and the United Nations resolution recognized a two-state solution. And then Israel has claimed that, like, we are a sovereign state. Israel has claimed. Within 11 minutes of Israel's claim, what has happened? The United Kingdom and United States of America, right? Initially, they have recognized that we recognize Israel as a separate state. But the thing is, Palestine was divided into two different territories. One territory was Gaza Strip, right? And the other territory was West Bank. Okay, other territory was West Bank. This was the thing. But there have been various wars between Israel and Palestine, and in each war, Israel has occupied more territory. So the thing is, there has been perpetual, let's say, state of chaos inside Israel and Palestine, right? In this region, there has been perpetual state of chaos. So chaos was there, and many people have picked up arms to, let's say, free themselves from the Israeli occupation. So recently, what has happened? Recently, I mean, like, let me just quickly draw a map of this region. Let me quickly draw a map. So when we draw a map of this region, let's say, like, this is the map. This is just a rough map. Do not consider it to be the final map. So this is the location of Gaza Strip. Okay, this is the location of Gaza Strip. And apart from this, over here there is some territory which is known as West Bank. And this yellow shaded region, this is Israel. This is Israel. Just to the south of Israel, let's say just to the south of Israel, there are territories. For example, let me mark those territories. Here we have Egypt. Egypt is a separate country. Here we have Lebanon. We have Syria, right? After Lebanon, we have Syria over here. We have Jordan here. And to the west of this area, we have Mediterranean Sea. What? We have Mediterranean Sea. This is the thing. So this is the present map. What is there? From the Gaza Strip, let's say there is a group which is Hamas. Hamas meaning Islamic Resistance Movement. It means Islamic Resistance Movement. But the thing is, Hamas is also an extremist group. What they have done? They have attacked on Israel on October 7th, 2023. And in that attack, around 1,400 Israelis were killed. Okay, in that attack, around 1,400 Israelis were killed or got killed. And not only this, they have captured 200, let's say, Israelis. They have, let's say, taken into hostage 200 Israelis also. And soon after that, so during this phase of development, what has happened means, side by side, if we talk about India, so India initially did not recognize Israel as a, let's say, when Israel was created in 1947, India initially did not recognize it as a separate territory. What has happened? But subsequently, India has recognized that Israel is a sovereign country like that. Even after recognition, for 4 decades, right? For 4 decades means for 40 years, what India had done, India has just maintained consular relations, right? Consular relations with Israel. Now let us understand this consular relations is only related to trade and other things. It is not very high level of diplomatic relation. High level of diplomatic relations are set up between two countries when they have ambassadors of each other countries, let's say, sent to one another. When they, let's say, when they have ambassadorial exchange, only then the relationship, foreign relation between two countries are considered to be good. Okay, so for 4 decades they had only consular relations, India and Israel. Okay, India and Israel only had consular relations because India did not, let's say, did not increase it beyond that thing. But what has happened, India was the only country, let's say, which was outside this, let's say, Middle East region, that has not only recognized Israel as a country, it has also recognized Palestinian Liberation Organization. There is an organization, Palestinian Liberation Organization. This organization was set up by a person, by a leader. His name is known as Yasser Arafat. So what Yasser Arafat did, basically, he was a person, let's say, who was pro-Palestine. He was a Palestinian leader. Basically, before that, he was an extremist person. He had picked up arms and he had armed a struggle against Israel. But when he set up Palestinian Liberation Organization, that time he put up his, let's say, he put down his arms. And many countries from the world, they have recognized Yasser Arafat as a, let's say, genuine leader or genuine voice of Palestinians' cause. Right, they have recognized Palestinian Liberation Organization. So India recognized Palestinian Liberation Organization. India recognized, let's say, Israel as a separate country. India has set up consular relations. And presently, India has, let's say, at present, India has ambassador relations with Israel. Israel, capital of Israel is Tel Aviv. Okay, its capital is at Tel Aviv. And capital of, if we talk about Palestine, right? If we talk about Palestine, it is in Ramallah. Okay, it is in Ramallah. Ramma. It is in Ramallah. So India maintains consular relations with Ramallah. It maintains consular relations with Israel also. It maintains with both the countries. Now, see, the thing is like in India, we have a leader, the Prime Minister of India. He has maintained very good relation with the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. There was a time that Prime Minister of India has visited Israel. They have shared good warmth, and Prime Minister of Israel has visited India 2 times also. So when this attack happened on Israel, on October 7th, on the very next day or on the same day, the Prime Minister of India has tweeted that India, let's say like, stands with Israel in this time of horror, right, that has, let's say, unleashed on Israel. So India stands with Israel, but the thing is, this has not been the official position so far. Officially, the government of India recognizes Israel to be, let's say, recognizes Israel and Palestine to be 2 different states, and government of India maintains a kind of relationship where we consider a 2-state solution for the problem that is happening in this region. So India recognizes that there should be 2-state solution. A Palestinian state must be created, and Israel is already existing. So the thing is like they can stay side by side. But the thing is like soon after few days, the External Affairs Ministry made it clear that India recognizes, let's say, India stands for a 2-state solution. This is the thing. So in this article, basically, what has happened in this article, Mr. Shashi Tharoor says that the erosion of India's one-sidedness means like, India is not one-sided. India is two-sided. We recognize both the countries, let's say like we recognize Palestine, we recognize Israel, and the thing is we are in support of a 2-state solution, and we think this is a long-term and durable solution. So someone has joined online, Jai Shri. So thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. All right. So India recognizes 2-state solution in this thing. So here the author has finally mentioned that despite many areas of continuity, India's foreign policy has begun to change in key areas under Narendra Modi government. Basically, author says that now like the India's worldview, whatever worldview we had earlier, it has changed under the present government, and one of the pointer of change is related to Gaza. Okay, one of the pointer of change is related to Gaza. This is the thing. So you need to read this article to understand this thing in, let's say, in a much deeper context. So then we have another article. It says Article 370 judgment is a case of constitutional monism, right? So we will understand about this article. This is, let's say, I would say highly academic in sense, this article, but still we will try to understand because like, this gives you a different perspective. Article 370 judgment, it says Article 370 judgment is a case of constitutional monism, is a case of constitutional monism. So before we understand this article in detail, let us understand what do we mean by this term which is known as constitutional monism. Okay, this is, we will understand what do we mean by constitutional monism. So constitutional monism is a situation where the Constitution of India is considered sovereign, means like when we talk in terms of India, in the context of India, okay. So here it considers that the Constitution of India is the final document using which we can interpret, right, many things related to India. When it comes to, let's say, like, relations between two territories, one of the so this article that has been written, it is written in the context of Jammu and Kashmir. So let us understand some historical background before we jump into this thing, historical background related to this topic. We are not going much deeper into history, but long back when India became independent in 1947, at that point of time, let's say we started integrating different princely states. And how we started integrating at that point of time. So the thing is one of the person, he visited various princely states. He has pursued, right? He has pursued all the leaders or like kings of the princely states to join the dominion of India. If they join dominion of India, they will be given protection. Not only they will be given protection, they will be integrated as part of India. They will receive, let's say, equal protection, equal rights as other princely states. So most of them, out of 563, I think, that most of them had joined, and only 3 of them, let's say, initially did not join. One of them was the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. But what had happened, Jammu and Kashmir had a majority population that were Muslims, but it was being ruled by a Hindu ruler, like his name is Hari Singh, Maharaja Hari Singh. But the thing is, later on, that princely state has seen some attack from the Pakistani side. And to save themselves from Pakistani side, they have, let's say, approached India. They wanted security from India. And when they wanted security from India, so government of India, the Jawaharlal Nehru at that point of time, they have he has pursued that, let's say, we will provide security, but the thing is, you need to sign this instrument of annexation with us. So they have signed instrument of annexation, and after signing the instrument of annexation, let's say government of India has got exclusive rights on 3 areas. One is foreign relation, other is currency, and there was another area, security, right? Security, currency, foreign relation and all. So since we have got these rights, so the thing is we have given most of the rights to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, And after then, what has happened, there are many historical things. So Constitution of India was drafted. We adopted our constitution. Meanwhile, let's say the state of Jammu and Kashmir was given the authority to draft their own constitution. Okay, they were given the authority to draft their own constitution, and they have drafted a constitution. So government of India has recognized that, and mention of their constitution is mentioned in Article 370 of the Constitution of India. In the Constitution of India, we have Article 370. So this Article 370 actually talks about the special status of the Jammu and Kashmir. And in the Jammu and Kashmir Constitution, they have Article 35 that gives some special protection to their own citizens, means their own people, right, in this state. So basically, those people were given some special rights. For example, the land in Jammu and Kashmir cannot be sold to anyone else apart from, let's say, people of Jammu and Kashmir. They cannot sell outside. So they were given certain kind of rights. But what had happened in the year of 2019? In 2019, the government of India has abrogated Article 370, and this has followed through different stages. Initially, let's say there was a coalition government between BJP and one of the state parties in Jammu and Kashmir that was led by Mehbooba Mufti. But after the, let's say, split of the 2 parties, governor's rule was stated, governor's rule was imposed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And after governor's rule was imposed, later on president's rule was also imposed, right? President's rule was also imposed in Jammu and Kashmir. And even after imposition of president's rule, the government of India has, let's say, abrogated Article 370. So they have, let's say, nullified Article 370. Inside Article 370, there are some clauses, clause 1, clause 2, clause 3. Under clause 3 of Article 370, right, a right is given to the President of India to abrogate this article. But that right was, let's say, based on a concurrence of the state, let's say, the constitution drafting Constituent Assembly or Constitution Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. But that Constitution Assembly does not exist any further. I mean, like, it ceased to exist soon after the State Legislative Assembly was enacted, right? The State Legislative Assembly came into being, or soon after the constitution was drafted for Jammu and Kashmir. So that body, which is Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, it became a this functus officio. Okay, what it became a functus officio means it has done its function, and after it ceased to operate, so this article assumed permanence, means like since that body do not exist, so it was assumed that the President of India does not have any authority on abrogation of this article. But the thing is, like, this was being challenged in the Supreme Court of India. Like, petitioners from Jammu and Kashmir, they have approached the Supreme Court of India, and the central government, they have their own council, and recently the Supreme Court of India has given judgment related to this Article 370 abrogation. The Supreme Court of India has upheld that the abrogation of Article 370 was done rightfully, right? It was done rightly, and President of India does have the authority to abrogate Article 370. Apart from this, in this particular article, one of the justices in this particular judgment, Article 370 related judgment of the Supreme Court of India, one of the justices, his name is Justice Sanjay Kaul. What he has held that views are to be taken from the entire nation via the parliament, as the issue leading to the reorganization affects the nation as a whole. So basically what Justice Sanjay Kaul has said, Justice Sanjay Kaul has said that, like, you know, in India, like, for example, if we want to give effect, I'm just let's say, like, you know, drawing a rough sketch or rough map of India, right? Rough map of India. So Justice Sanjay Kaul has said simply that, like, you know, if we want to go for state reorganization, right? So views should be taken from all parts of India, and these views are reflected through the parliament. And when parliament has enacted something, so we need to consider that one. Okay. So according to Justice Sanjay Kaul, that views of the entire nation prevails. Okay. So this is what is being referred as constitutional monism by the author. Author is talking about that, like, you know, because of constitutional monism, they have given primacy to the Constitution of India. They have given primacy to the let's say the Parliament of India over and above the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir and the state of Jammu and Kashmir and all. So this is what they have said. And in this article, basically the author criticizes the judicial pronouncement. The author criticizes the judgment of the Supreme Court of India. So author says that such a judicial reading in a context that defies monism also affects federalism and constitutional democracy. Okay, so he says it affects the constitutional democracy in India. So it is important that, like, you know, India is a sovereign nation, right? We are part of India. India is a sovereign nation, and since it is a sovereign nation, it can decide for itself the internal affairs and the external affairs. And since Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India, so it should be, let's say, recognized that the decisions that are taken by the Supreme Court of India, which is the highest judicial authority in the country, these decisions are to be abided. Okay. However, this author has some criticism related to the way that the judgment was taken by the Supreme Court of India. This is the thing. So with this, let us now quickly go to another article, right? This article says, "End the uncertainty." Okay, end the uncertainty. Now let us understand about this article quickly. Okay, this is a very short article. Topic number 4, end the uncertainty. Now to understand this article, we need to understand a map. Okay, we need to understand a map, and this map, let's say, let me quickly draw the map of India, right? This is map of India, and this is where another country is located. Name of this country is Sri Lanka. and here we have India. So the thing is, what in this article is mentioned, that there are many people, right, historically when the UK government, right, United Kingdom was ruling on India. So they have, let's say, like colonized India, and at that point of time they have sent some laborers from India to Sri Lanka. So these laborers were known as indentured, right? They were known as indentured laborers. Okay, they were known as indentured laborers. So these laborers, like, who were sent from India to Sri Lanka, so they were working in the plantations in Sri Lanka, tea plantations, coffee plantation and all. So most of the people who were sent, they were sent from southern states. So from the state of Tamil Nadu, right, from the state of Tamil Nadu, most of the people, let's say, like, were sent to Sri Lanka as indentured laborers. And so these are the people who are Indian origin people. What? They are Indian origin people. And so these people have, like, they are known as Indian origin Tamils. What? These people are known as Indian origin Tamils. Okay, they are known as Indian origin Tamils. In short, it is IOT. It is mentioned in this article, Indian origin Tamils. So long back, let's say, government of India and government of Sri Lanka, they have agreed with one another. They have signed some pact where some Indian people, the Indian origin Tamils, who wanted to come back to India, right? Indian origin Tamils who wanted to come back to India, they could come to India, and some Sri Lankan people who wanted to go to Sri Lanka back, so they will be going back to Sri Lanka. So these Indian origin Tamils, many people came, but the thing is, not all of them have, let's say, like, proper documents as Indian citizens. And some of those people are still struggling to get Indian citizenship. Many of these people have been kept in some kind of camps, okay, some kind of camps. These camps are known as refugee camps, okay, these camps are refugee camps. So they have been kept in refugee camps. Since these people do not have proper documentation, so that's why they are not getting rights. What rights? They are not getting rights as Indian citizens, right? So one of the person has recently approached Madras High Court. Which High Court? He has approached Madras High Court, and Madras High Court has recently given a judgment. Okay, which High Court? Madras High Court has given a judgment, and in that judgment, the Madras High Court has ordered, right? In that judgment, the Madras High Court has ordered that Indian citizenship be given to that particular family, that particular person and his family member. Okay, so Indian citizenship be given. This is the thing. Now we need to understand that in this article they have mentioned about two international conventions. One of the international convention is known as 1951 UN Refugee Convention and 1961 protocol. In 1950, so there is a United Nations Refugee Convention. Okay, there is a United Nations Refugee Convention, and this is of 1951, and there is a protocol to this, right? There is a protocol to this, and this protocol is of 1967. So under these conventions, right, under these conventions, those people who come from another country to your country and they want refuge, they want to settle in your country, you cannot send them back to their own country if they have some danger to their life. Danger, for example, these people might have fled from their own place because of, let's say, danger to their life. It can be because of many reasons. It can be because of their political inclination, it can be because of their race, it can be because of their religion, it can be because of, let's say, climate hazard and all. So there is a principle under this, right? There is a principle under these refugee conventions. This principle is known as principle of non-refoulement. Okay, principle of non-refoulement. What do we mean by this principle of non-refoulement? This principle of non-refoulement says that if persons have come from their own place to your country, you cannot send them back. You cannot send them back to their own country if they have danger to their life. But what is the catch over here? The catch is that like India is not a signatory to any of these. Okay, India is not a signatory. Okay, it is not a signatory to these conventions like UN Refugee Convention 1951 or UN Refugee Protocol 1967. So it is not a signatory. Since it is not a signatory, it is not bound by its principles also. But still those people who have come to India who are Indian origin Tamils, their forefathers, grandfathers, they have, let's say, like, you know, gone from India to Sri Lanka, right? But the thing is, like, those people who have gone, they died, but their children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, let's say, like, you know, they are considered to be Indian origin Tamils, and these people have come. Since these people have come, some of these people have documentation, they have been given passports, but others do not have. And the government of Tamil Nadu, like, you know, in South India, Tamil Nadu state, they have conducted a survey, they have conducted a study, and according to their study, around 90,000 of these people, 91,000 refugees are there in camps in Tamil Nadu, and out of them 58,000, right? So Tamil Nadu had about 91,000 refugees and around 58,000 in camps, and out of them, let's say 5,130 are applicants under the Indian origin Tamil category. Okay, so here in this article, author says that, like, you know, the center's proactive approach to resolve issues of Sri Lankan repatriate is must. Author says that central government should take proactive approach. They should do work proactively so that, like, you know, the Indian origin Tamils, they should get their due rights in India. The Tamil Nadu government has done their bit, but it is now like, you know, it is now the role of central government that they should play. And so the case that the Madras High Court has decided is known as T. Ganeshan versus the government of India and others. Okay, so this is the thing. So with this, let us now quickly move to another article. This is a very short article. From now onward, we will be quick, right, in covering these articles. It says road fatalities rise in India despite global drop, right? So this has been, there has been a report by the World Health Organization. World Health Organization has come up with a report. This report talks about the death related to road accidents in various countries, including India. So we are interested in understanding about this report from the perspective of India, right? How many people die in road accidents in India? So according to the WHO, road traffic death fell by 5% worldwide between 2010 and 21, but rose 15% in India. Means globally, the death rate has gone down by 5%, but in India, it has gone up by 15%. Okay, so like in India, there is a reverse trend. Here, more number of people are dying because of road accidents. Okay, so this road traffic fell by this, so this is by a reporting by the World Health Organization. This is the thing. And what is the name of the report? It is important for you to understand the name of the report. Name of the report is, it says Global Status Report on Road Safety 2023. Okay, I'm just writing the name of the report. Global Status Report on Road Safety. Okay, Global Status Report on Road Safety 2023. This is the report, and which organization released this report? It is World Health Organization. This report is by World Health Organization. So according to this report, in India, the death rate has gone up by 15%. Worldwide, the death rate has gone down by 5%. This is the thing. Okay, so we are not going to go into nitty-gritties related to this. This is for prelims, and you need to remember the fact. Then we have another article. It says New Delhi Declaration on Artificial Intelligence adopted. So yesterday I had taken an let's say an editorial discussion topic related to, let's say, artificial intelligence governance in India. So basically here in this article they have mentioned about an organization which is known as Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. So Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence has 29 member countries, right? And of this, India is a founding member. India is a founding member of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, right? It is a founding member. Here we need to remember that China is not a member, right? China is not a member of this organization. And currently India holds the presidency, means like, a summit, the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence Summit is being held in India from 12th to 14th of December 2023. So in this Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence Summit, basically they have adopted a declaration. It is known as New Delhi Declaration. New Delhi Declaration on how to governance artificial intelligence was adopted by all the member countries, by 29 member countries. And when we talk about the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, its secretariat, where is its secretariat located? Its secretariat is located in the OECD building. OECD stands for Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. All right. So it says the declaration affirms the country's commitment to principles for responsible stewardship of trustworthy artificial intelligence. Read this line once again. The declaration affirms the country's commitment to principles for responsible stewardship of trustworthy artificial intelligence. This is the thing. So this article is related to Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. India is a founding member. This Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence was set up in the year of 2020. It was set up with the initiation of Canada and France. Canada and France first proposed the idea that we can create a global partnership on artificial intelligence, and subsequently many countries have also shown interest, and they have together founded this partnership, Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence in 2020. India became a founding member of this organization. All right, so this is related to how do we govern artificial intelligence, how do we regulate artificial intelligence. We want to have a proper governance mechanism on artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is, let's say, like, is in a rapid boom phase, means like it is growing at a rapid pace across the world. This is the right time that different countries must think about how do we regulate artificial intelligence. All right, so with this, let us quickly move to another article. This article says Center revives plan to simplify GST rates. Okay, so GST stands for Goods and Services Tax. As we all know, GST stands for Goods and Services Tax, and it is, let's say, an umbrella tax that clubs different indirect tax together. Okay, what it does, it clubs different indirect taxes together. So it has clubbed many indirect taxes together. The government of India has created a GST council. Okay, they have created something which is known as GST council, and this GST council is a constitutional body, and in GST council they take decision. I mean, like, decisions are taken collectively, where central government participates and all the state government participates. Central government has a voting right of around 1/3 and state governments has a voting right of around 2/3, like that, in GST council. So basically what is the case here? The government of India has recently decided that they are going to simplify the tax rates, like, GST rates for different goods and services. So this is what is mentioned in this article. So it says government rejigs group of ministers on rate simplification after long pause. While there are 4 main GST rate slabs, there are a dozen in practice. Okay, so government has created 4 different slabs, means like 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. However, more than a dozen GST rates are in practice. So that's why government had thought of simplifying the GST rates. So in this article they have mentioned the agenda of rationalizing GST rates re-enters policymakers' radar with center reconstituting ministerial group. Okay, center includes Karnataka's revenue minister Krishna Baire Gowda in the reconstituted ministerial group. So this is the thing. We don't need to go into nitty-gritties. We need to understand what is important from the exam point of view. Then we have another article, very important and short article. This is from international relations. This is important under international relations. So this article says China and Vietnam must oppose attempt to mess up Asia Pacific. Why they are talking about Asia Pacific? Because Asia Pacific is a kind of let's say like region. It's a let's say like not only let's say sea region, but it also includes the countries. So China and Vietnam, they are in favor that like Asia Pacific should be under control of Asian countries, means like should be under control of these countries. So many countries from the West, including United States of America, they show their interest in let's say like in Asia Pacific region. They want to have their say in the Asia Pacific region, right? They talk about freedom of navigation. They talk about let's say rules based international order. But Chinese government, I mean like they also have some kind of hegemonic structure. They want to control most of the territories in the Asia Pacific region, and in their bid to do so, the Chinese government have asserted their full sovereignty on the South China Sea, which is also claimed by many other countries including Philippines, Manila and other countries in the South China Sea. But when we talk about South China Sea, this is a region, I mean like all the sea related disputes come under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. There is a convention which is known as UNCLOS. So United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea is a one convention. It's a international treaty which let's say like which actually like talks about international law that regulates the disputes related to ocean. And as part of UNCLOS, they have created many bodies. Okay, they have created many bodies under it. So this is the thing. I have included a map of Vietnam also for your purpose. This is the map of Vietnam over here. Capital of Vietnam is let's say Hanoi. They have a city which is known as Ho Chi Minh. This is also a very important city, okay, in Vietnam. So like this is included for your purpose so that you can locate some of the important regions. One of the thing is Mekong River. This Mekong River originates here, there, I mean like so Mekong Ganga cooperation is there. In your free time, you understand where is like which countries are part of Mekong Ganga cooperation. You can let's say locate the places like Gulf of Tonkin, Pacific Ocean, Gulf of Thailand and all. So see the mapping related aspects. So here South China Sea is also mentioned. So we have discussed about mapping of South China Sea also in our previous discussions. You can refer to them. So that will be all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.